Words are not profane when they have a purpose. Please prepare yourself for this true life story.
Jay Chattelle is an example.
Someone who, over the last 2 years as mayor, I've gotten to really know and admire.
Man of poetry, man of integrity, selflessness. It's given. The person that I know is a very positive person in the community.
Who am I? 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 Who am I?
I, with the voice of a poet, simple thoughts of a man, questions like a child, philosophical time at hand. Mind of a professor, eyes of eternal soul, heart of an angel whose life has been foretold. Backbone of a construction worker, smile of the fighter, love of a mother and discipline of the father. Strength of the soldier, and you ask, who am I?
Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I?
Lord, our vision excels. I take words and hug humanity. We allow letters of love to kiss your mind while healing your soul. You can't buy a vowel nor let these adjectives agitate and turn aggravation to the point of no return. Pros take their time to show muse how to love again. Sanctuaries organized under love. Acronyms of the soul. Let me take you on a journey that joins destiny with faith. A lonely lunar sky lingering along with language the angels speak of. Lyrically fleeing logic to soar with new heights of expectations.
Who am I? 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 Who am I?
When writing, I can enlighten with another's poetry. I look at my life, reflecting on experiencing these intense situations. Living, birthing scores of flowetry, breathing in Picasso paintings, putting pieces of puzzles together, jigsawing the different cuts of worlds of words, all in the meanwhile, breathing in this blissful beauty called music, being made by profound people. From the rip, poets putting together literal language of literature. Yes, faithful souls you can relate to. Now tell yourself, I am.
Who am I? 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 Who am I?
What's yours?
It's mine.
Your love.
My strength.
Your hate.
My fuel.
Your time is money and mine's all been spent.
Life is priceless. Who am I? 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 Who am I?
Jay Chattelle is an example that if you put your mind to something and are determined and ambitious, then you can accomplish anything.
My son.
Very well-known guy, grew up with the guy. Jay Chattelle is a big name nowadays.
He's my brother. Who is Jay Chattelle, or who is Jay Chattelle to me?
My friend, my friend and a hard-working artist in my community.
We look back, and I served on the council for many years and knew Jay a little bit, was involved in some of the DARE program. But as mayor, it became, much more comfortable and partnership. But Jay is someone who always gives back to the community.
Man of integrity, selflessness, is given.
Jay Chattelle is a young man I met about 5 years ago who had a strong interest in poetry and spoken word art.
That was my older brother. When I was growing up as a kid, he was my father and my best friend.
Probably one of my oldest friends. We grew up with him.
He's a driven, very driven individual.
Older brother, father figure, all that.
Really good people. Would do anything for anybody.
My father, brother, friend.
And he was very ambitious and very determined to move forward with his career. He had had some tragic events in his life, and an accident, some other things that had kind of reshaped his personality.
I know him from the DARE graduations, the DARE involvement, when we look at the Poetry Slam. So I really have gotten to know and admire Jay for all the work he does. And it's always around the kids. It's giving back, and he's not selfish like that.
Jay's had a lot of changes in his life. Very dramatic, very exciting changes, a lot of different things, very good changes that'll last forever and has trickled down to other people. People see the difference and people want to act like him, people want to be like him, and you want to have the blessings like he does. Very good gentleman.
I did. I got a chance to meet him at my feature in Providence.
Guy owes me $5. Hate him.
He's a vampire.
Did a poem, and it was pretty dope. I dug it.
Jay Chattelle is one of the harder working Rhode Island poets. He puts together a lot of venues, a lot of events, does a lot of work in schools, and just bringing poetry to everybody, making sure everyone has access to a chance at being a poet. And you got to respect that.
That he said had saved his life, which seems to be exactly the same philosophy that I exist under, so I dig that.
I mean, besides all the good stuff, he's a good dude, nice guy, all that stuff. I mean, he's dedicated to what he loves. He knows what he wants, and he's working towards it every day. With every conversation he has, every person he meets, just a good energy, good dude to be around. If you have a goal, he's gonna make it his goal for you to reach your goal. He's one of those type of dudes,
So that's how I've gotten to know Jay over the last couple of years. Prior to that, I knew Jay as someone who was like me, grew up on the streets, had some rough choices and decisions in life, made some mistakes like we all have, but really, grew on them and capitalized on the betterment of that. So
this dude has always carried his heart in two places in my life. I don't care if you was the strongest of strong or the weakest of weak. I don't care if there was 25 of them and one of you. Sincerely, this is the man that would get your back. This is the man that would take it to the ground for you 12,000%. All of y'all are family, some of y'all are just friends, but the family know I'm sincere about this. My man Jay Chattelle, I am more than proud of him. He went from knocking out state troopers at 15 years old, just being a punk kid, at 15, just showing people what he got on his arm, to let the world know what he has in his heart. Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Chattelle.
Dr. Edwards, call 79, urgent.
everyday word. Everyday word.
I've been awakened with inspiration. My senses ask.
Jason, will you show people this out-of-body replacement? Your heart will not reside inside the devil's basement. Stand tall as you walk through the valleys of the shadows of death. Speak upon that day you thought you were taking your very last breath.
There is a method to the madness. Each one teach one. No longer hopeless.
Cope with fear. No such thing as too much. Encourage people's hearts with the senses that clutch.
See? Smell, hear, touch of taste. For a class that never wastes a 6. Conscious ability to think. Drink up something sound. Nowadays seasonable. Significant. Also reasonable. Meaningful perception by the body's noticeable appearance of death and destruction. Construction of a man willing to put in work. Brushes off dirt even when it hurts. Misery's fiend no longer lurks. An adaptation jerked into the future of life. Yes. Give it twice.
Pain is all the same, it hurts. Feelings deep within a word. With everyday words. Everyday words. Pain is all the same, it hurts. Feelings deep within a word. With everyday words. Everyday words.
Seduction's lurking around every corner. Affection's luring you and bushed emotions deterring you. What was worrying you no longer destroying you. Smile with this boy that grew into a proud father of 2.
Invest in glorious lives, introducing tomorrow's future. Past is present.
Armed with a shooter keen insight. Yes, in life. What's beautiful turned magnificently cuter.
Savvy heart can imagine.
Passions is a virtue. Received consciously. Kindness, benevolence, and generosity will alert you. Never let anyone deter you from what you can and can't do. Please meditate on that for a few.
Pain is all the same, it hurts. Feelings deep within a word. With everyday words. Everyday words. Pain is all the same, it hurts. Feelings deep within a word. With everyday words. Everyday words.
Serious sentences, sent with sentimental value. Significantly saving savvy souls, safeguarded from sin.
When beginning to change, meanings of death being raised and life living right for his name's sake.
Take what's given, university is all around. Open your heart, see with the mind. Decline the notion to give less.
Test your willingness to win.
Rip the pot, man. Always put back together, my friend. The story rents fiction. Alfred Hitchcock mission.
Acts glorious, big, notorious. Heal,
warriors. Doesn't matter if I can save one, I'm aiming for all of you.
Pain is all the same, it hurts. Feelings deep within a word. With everyday words. Everyday words. Pain is all the same, it hurts. Feelings deep within a word. With everyday words.
Well, he's my older son.
He's a good guy. Takes care of what he has to take care of.
Which Jay are we talking about?
Jay is a positive person.
He's doing well.
I remember Jay going way back early in my days in the store pole.
Is he gonna hear this? Because he's a big guy and I'm kind of physically afraid of him.
I enjoy the shows.
Jay was always quiet until I got an actual chance to be able to break bread with him and talk to him.
You gotta think that I know Jay since we were little kids, so.
Oh, we get to know each other very well now.
He's always willing to give a helping hand.
The man has a huge heart. and he really believes in what he's doing, and more importantly, he believes in the chance he's bringing to other people to hear poetry, do poetry, have poetry touch their lives.
I'm always excited when I talk about Jay, or I'm very excited when I'm always around Jay.
I grew up with Jay, so I know Jay through his young Pawtucket boy phase, and I know,
You know, again, is someone who I think is really worthy. He gives back to the community.
that he's always been a good kid at heart.
The first time I actually heard him talking that I recall more recently was him at CCRI, and he was always bragging on somebody else.
You know, someone kind of like you look at special and a uniqueness about someone.
Because of his actions and the man that he's become now, I know that he's always had something to prove.
I think he's come a long way.
I respect Jay greatly.
And who now have had their child on 12-12-12, you know, I mean, it just goes to, it's typical Jay, absolutely, it's exciting, but you think about it, it really goes to him and how he presents himself and the things that he does, so.
But he's also my brother, so he gets me mad, aggravated sometimes. But I still love him.
I love my brother. I hate him sometimes. Love him all the time. Get mad at him.
And you know, we ran around at the Manville Carnival, jumped off rock quarries into water, caused all kind of trouble.
Yeah, man, I respect Jay a lot, man. Just the fact that he used everything that negative that people had to say about him, and he used that as fuel to really create like a timeline and steps to guide him to becoming the man that he is today. And he is a positive individual trying to do positive things and trying to help out as many people as he can. So I got nothing but love and respect for Jay.
What I know most about Jay from the outside looking in is every time I see him, he's usually talking about something he's doing that includes other people and really reaching out to other people. And that's humbling right there. That's humbling.
He's not one-sided, very big on blessing people, you know.
When someone needs it, he's always willing to point someone in a positive direction.
You know, Jay is really someone that I've grown fond of.
He's been through a lot in his life, and he does have wisdom on how to get the job done. Feelings overall, it's love.
Jay is that I love him, respect him, he's the man.
We're always going to be part of each other's lives for as long as we live. Good, bad, ugly. Brothers are here for adversity, it says in the Bible, so you know, we're always going to be together, no matter what.
So I go on MySpace the other day. Went to my public playlist, pulled up my titles. This is what my music was. Go hard, no apologies, winner. I've changed without you, lost my soul. Kiss me through the phone, dead and gone, here without you. Rock bottom. Now that being said, look what my eyes see. I was at rock bottom, here without you, dead and gone. No, this is not a lie, please give it a minute. Kiss me through the phone, lose my soul without you. I've changed, winner. Go hard, no apologies, remix. So now my space is your space. Waste, not want. Right now while I'm writing you this, I'm telling you I'm able to do all this. Life is short, yes, I do know this. Life is good no matter what mood you're in. It's something we should never lose sight is that we knew what life is, always knew it as is. His, hers, whatever we knew her as is. If you knew me as is the man he made me to be, as if you could ever doubt me. Nevertheless, I am he, you must understand this present me. Are you still following me? It's not as easy as you think. You don't always get to wear a mink. But I do like how you think, so I'm gonna try as hard as one would think. But to me, I think it means a lot more what he believes. Who, me? I love all my family. That's something you can't take away from me. Plus my beliefs? Yeah, see, you can see, cause you're still following me. No matter how long I would take, or even when I made mistakes, yes, this poem is no longer what you expect from me, cause it wasn't the apologies you wanted from me. No longer would you even accept that from me. Right now, keep playing with fire. Fire no longer in control. Cold soul telling you to let go. Crazy you think you're playing me. You don't faze me. Your fuel, that fire, turns desire higher than your life to me. Your trifling ways of deception is overrated. A gated community is where we live. Soldiers that stand for God, not on God. How'd you initially think? Wait for the wink. Wow, is that how he thinks? This is I, the man within. This is us fighting with sin. This is deception, the longer you win. Now give that a minute to sink in. I feel like right now I've given my life to you, cause no longer can I be nice to you. If I cannot fight with you, I cannot write to you. My life to you, is that but a game? Then watch me score this touchdown while I make them say my name. Please replace all thoughts of fame. I'm replacing all the flipping blame. It's happy tears, cause you made it here. It's living like there was no yesteryear. Flesh of my flesh, thinking is beyond the best. Tats like my tats, where's the originality in that? Where's the originality in that? Love like my love, love like my love, where's the originality in that? Love like my love, yeah. Love like my love. I'm so lost right now. I don't know what to do. I'm so confused. I don't have a clue. Where I'm going or where I'm coming from, what I'm doing. I feel like a bum. My life is so upside down. If I don't slow it up, I'll be laid on the ground. Please, someone help me before I can't be helped. I'm lost right now. I need to be felt. I feel my life just slipping away. I'm gonna wake up soon to death one day. Hasn't anyone ever heard a grown man cry before? It's not like a woman when her tears roll off her beautiful face to the floor. It's more like a closed door. I know the signs are not obvious, but look real close. Inside, I'm crying like a little boy that just seen a ghost. I'm so lost right now. I don't know what to do. I'm so confused. I don't have a clue.
Over there in Queens, New York. Sometimes when I mean poetry, I love poetry when they're actually saying something, you know? I love poetry when it's an original thought to the table, not just, spewing out some, generic BS and flaky metaphors and symbolism. Like, I mean, I definitely enjoy the poetry that makes me think, entertains me. But yeah, I'm a fan of poetry. Good poetry.
I feel pain, don't let the pain fill me. I feel pain, don't let the pain fill me. I feel pain, don't let the pain fill me. I feel pain.
I'm writing with hopes of understanding a childless father, in search of someone who can listen and not judge, who can sense but will never relate to dates and times of loss. My brain tired, my body drained. My spirit will not let me stop. I see eyes featuring future, hearing destiny's vocabulary, tasting life's sweet sorrows, driving me to convey worldly passions through meaningless words. When they touch deaf ears, move lion souls. Allow me to open up what's yours. Not experiencing constricted past insecurities, conflicting, chaotic, confused confidence. This will always outlast the appalling times, with meaningful lines living inside, simultaneously divine. I'm searching for something that seems second in nature, seeking, but finding the harder I try, the more the wrong is understood. I hate you. A terrifying movie replayed over and over again. And words knifed, cutting, healing in half. You have no idea. Wishing was a well I fell into head first, drowned the dreams to submit death fantasy. A fallacy mixed with casualties, crashing head first with time, yes, crushing my mind. So the question asked of me was, don't I think I should try getting in touch with my daughters instead of you? Yes, I have. Yes, I will. Still.
Rick McIntyre. I'm from a lot of different places. At this point, I live just outside of Providence, Rhode Island. I'm a writer. I do workshops in schools, and I get kids to listen to poems and get them to write some poems themselves. I like to think that I bring in elements of theater and stand-up comedy and storytelling into what I do. I run a venue at called Got Poetry Live. It's at Blue State Coffee, 300 Thayer Street in Providence. We're there from 8 to 10 every Tuesday night. We bring in local features, we bring in features that are touring around the country. We've been doing Got Poetry at that location for 4 years. We were at another place called Reflections down near Fox Point for the previous 2.5. So we've been doing it for about 6 years. I like its accessibility. I mean, I was in high school and college around the time of punk rock breaking. And the thing about punk rock was that anyone could learn 3 chords and, put together a punk band. Poetry's even easier than that. Anyone can write a poem, anyone can perform the poem, because really all that there is to being a poet is being a storyteller. And every one of us is a storyteller, whether we're talking to friends going, oh, I gotta tell you what happened on Friday night, things got crazy. And so we tell a story.
From my point of view, the way I see it from out here, I have a pretty good point of view. I have at least the majority's best interests at hand when I say I come here to make a change for the better. So to the city of Central Falls, hello. The city of Pawtucket, hello. The city of Providence, hello. Come join me, have a conversation with me. Let the people hear what's on your mind. I'm here to speak what's on mine. This is Rooftop Confessions. Hear me scream out to the world. Age and time, it's experience. With hurt
thoughts I've been thinking of. Please, open your eyes. Don't let yourself get mesmerized. Let me take you to a verbal vision of my heart, my soul, my feelings. I'm a grown-ass man that needs some healing. This thought process of an immature boy has brought me little joy. My heart is leaking, bleeding from all the things I've been seeing. Pain, pleasure, sunshine, cloudy weather, love, hate, destiny, fate. Understanding I'm not perfect. Nobody on God's green earth is. I'm trying to get myself out of these new life crises. Life is fast. Day by day it's too slow. There are some things you ought to know. I'm raised by God-fearing women. That doesn't mean I don't keep sinning. Since the beginning they've been teaching me the difference from right and wrong, left and right. But you left from a fight before we can make what's right. Two wrongs don't make it alright. Now I sit here thinking to myself, if I had only one wish, would I choose wealth? Am I that type of person that would destroy myself? Party so much that would jeopardize my health? Thinking of a time that is pure bliss. Is that so ludicrous? You can search your whole life and still miss. Never find what it is that you were looking for. So I'ma search some more. Learn to swallow my pride. It doesn't make you a man if you have lied. Being appreciative of being alive, let's strive for a better way. Living this day as if it was your last. Leaving all your regrets in the past, it's called that for a reason. You might be here just for a season, but that didn't mean you didn't leave footprints that can last a lifetime. True friendship is hard to find. Unconditional love all the time. These are the thoughts of a man with a lot on his mind.
Have not I commanded you? Be strong and very courageous. Fear not, neither be dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee, whithersoever thou goest.
My name is William James. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, or actually kind of the rural backwoods hills of Pennsylvania that is then close to Pittsburgh. I'm doing a short 4-day tour through the New England area. Came up to Portland, Maine last night. My good friend Rick McIntyre put me on at Got Poetry tonight in Providence, and then I'm jetting up to Manchester, New Hampshire, and then coming back to Boston. So just a quick run through New England, doing poems. Poetry is a thing that I do to survive being human. It's an expression of raw emotion. It's narrative. It's storytelling. It's survival. It feels a lot of times like it's a scream into an empty void or a scream into a hurricane, but it's still a scream. I've been writing poetry for probably 15 or 16 years. I've been performing it and writing poems that I'm not actually ashamed to acknowledge for about the last 5. For the last 4 years, I've been touring. I think I've played in about 28 of the 48 states in the continental U.S. Have no idea when I'm going to get to the rest of them, but it'll happen. It's survival. Poetry is a thing that has kept me alive, and I don't mean that in a hyperbolic sense. I mean literally there are poems that have kept the razor out of my wrist, and there are songs which I consider to be just the same as poems, whose lyrics have kept me alive. So in that, to me it is entirely a thing of struggle and of survival and of just facing the human condition and facing how awful it can sometimes feel to be alive in this universe and refusing to let that defeat you. Poetry is a thing that gives me a voice to kind of scream all those demons out that are trying to stop me.
I need a mic, so I don't have to yell for you to understand my pain.
My words that drive a sane man crazy. This is what happens when you're tired, not lazy. I need a chair, so I can sit here and erase my fears. I need a pen. My words don't come easy to me when I hear my voice say the feelings that move me to speak to you this evening. I need an ear, so I can understand when I borrow your time, I'm not wasting mine. I need a hug. Don't put your hands on me. Matter of facts, don't look me in the eyes. I don't like hurting people, but I will if I have to. Yes, you would think I'm a strong person by my overwhelming muscles. They once benched over 400 pounds. These legs once pressed over 1,000 pounds. But that doesn't make me strong at all. You could even measure my strength by understanding the Boston medical doctors told me that I would never walk again. And they were right. I'm not walking, I'm gliding through life in search of the why. No, not the fork in the road why, or even the Young Men's Christian Association, or the chromosome that makes the young men say, whoa. But the why am I here? In a blue state. Some say to be a poet. Some would think it is to tell my life story in hopes to save a lost soul. Some would think it is to be a good son, brother, nephew, grandson, or yes, even a father. But that's where I have to stop myself. This fatherless child, so-called deadbeat sperm donor, has had enough. I sat down today to masquerade a suicide letter as a willing testament of my life. And what should be done after I exit this purgatory hellhole that I put myself in. And someone came to save me with these words. You are not done yet. You do not understand that magnificent plan. So I take the time to say sorry. Sorry to everyone I hurt. Sorry to every person I mangled. Sorry to every woman that I cheated the idea that maybe one day we could be together like some love story book. Not the movie, yes, the book. Everyone knows the book is always better. Sorry for all the promises I could not keep. Sorry for all the things I stole. I would say everything, but at times I was hungry. Sorry if you ever believed in me more than yourself, but most of all, I'm sorry that I am not the life savior that wrote the greatest words of all time that could heal your every painful experience that you ever lived through. But then again, I'm not. Because then you would not understand what it is that I'm writing right now. Matter of fact, I don't need a pen, mic, or chair. I don't need an air or even a hug. Okay. If you promise to make the hug really, really fast, we can.
I mean, who don't love their kids?
Jay matters because, like I said, you can't say it enough. He really and truly gives back to the community, you know. And I think it's really because of the little bit that I have gotten to know about Jay is his life bringing, his upbringing during life. You know, he had some hard choices to make, and he's really driving it back to the kids. It's about focusing in on what matters to them. You know, a lot of it is from life experience. So a lot of what he teaches and educates them on is really what he's learned not to do, you know, from the things that he should have done as a kid. And so, you know, that is really something I admire the most about him.
Like I said once before, he's a very positive person in the community. He tries to help everyone with their problems, very supportive in the community, has a lot of wisdom again, and also he brings people that wouldn't normally be together.
Matters because when you hear the Chattelle name, that's one of the biggest keys. Is when you hear Chattelle name, it's grown so big that anywhere you go now across the country, you hear Chattelle. Anywhere you go, you're gonna hear Chattelle, and I think that's very big because I stand by my last name, and it's very big to have your family grow with you.
We need selfless people in our community that really cares about other people, that's willing to give of themselves, and although we go through our own things, as Jay, you know, I can only imagine the pain that he goes through. I know a bit of it, but I can't imagine really what he goes through. And to be as courageous and strong, yet probably feeling so weak inside, that right there is rare. And that's why he matters so much to me. And I know that those around him who know his story more personally can say the same thing and much more.
When I was a child, you know, things weren't easy. We grew up pretty tough. He was always there, you know. Him, my other brothers, we always had each other, you know. We didn't really have anything else. It came down to like a couple pieces of bread. The brother was there to split them pieces of bread up, you know, make sure we all had our, you know, our piece. And he was always fair when it came to certain things like that.
He's been there for me through a lot of different things, and for a lot of people too. He's a good friend. He's somebody who'll tell you exactly the way it is, whether you like it or not. Gotta respect that. Not a lot of people are like that.
Because he told me just about everything I need to know about being a man growing up.
Jay Chattelle matters to me because if there was no Jay Chattelle, there wouldn't be no Josh Chattelle.
You know, he's like a father. Taught me a lot. Mostly everything I know.
Because he is a representation of me. He's a representation of the city that I love. He's an active voice of people from the city. You know, not only, you know, poor people or misguided, troubled youth like we were, or people that are trying to make a difference for all people, for kids, for adults. He's a father, you know. He's a supporter of youth athletics. He's a supporter of the art scene here in the area. He is a huge promoter for athletes, artists, poets, and that means that makes all the difference. He has an ability of shining light on people who don't really feel that they have a voice, and he kind of has a way of helping them see that their voice matters. And I think that's what makes Jay Chattelle matter so much, is that he has the ability to help other people matter.
Jay is an example of if you have determination and focus, stick to where your guns, you can make it. You can have success. And I think he's a good example to a lot of young artists who have potential but don't have that kind of drive. And talent is fourth on the list of things you need to be successful in this business. You know, you need to be focused, you need to be disciplined, you need to be committed, then you need talent. And I think Jay is an example of how important it is to be all of those things, but the first three first.
There's a lot of good for the kids, which is beautiful. Make sure the next generation, I don't know, they have something to stand on. There's a lot of shit out there where, you know, people don't stand for nothing. Kids, they stand for even less because of those people that don't stand for anything, and that's who they learn from. And he's trying to give, you know, same kids a positive message and who he is, where he's come from. I feel like that message hits home, you know, a little harder than some, you know, teacher telling you the same message.
Alright, class. You guys are late. Almost missed it. Who can kick me a beat?
We are the earth. We are his children. United sons and daughters of the world, and we are willing to live good lives as neighbors and treat each other right. Together we can save the world and give it life.
Don't let your grades fade. People being enslaved. Too many laid off and they're not getting paid. It's like the slave trade. Ain't sweet like lemonade. People around the world all need our aid.
There's many kids in need, ain't got no food to eat. In Africa they starve with the need to feed. We must come together, we must succeed. Do a good deed, we all must lead.
There's too much confusion, we gotta stop pollution. Keep the planet moving to have a better conclusion. We can't be losing, this song's the solution. It's our constitution to stop the delusion.
We need to use our minds, a life is on the line, so we can shine bright like a diamond. Anika's on the mic, and I'm rapping peace climbing. I'm headed to the top, and I'm blessed with my
We are
climbing.
the earth, we are its children, united sons and daughters of the world, and we are willing to live good lives as neighbors and treat each other right. Together we can save the world and give it life.
It's our responsibility to build communities, to make them shine and not decline and chill in unity, to stop the crying and the dying that be killing dreams, and stop pollution that we're using, that we spill in streams. We need to model ways to follow for the children, see they're the future, we're producers of the way they'll be. We really need to stop the greed and evil villainy, so be like me, a Mr. Deep with positivity.
We are the whole world, we share the same space. We're one big family called the human race. Getting each other's back like a back brace. Peacefully kicking the tail like shoelace.
Our world needs to change, there's too much pain. The key to the world is to use your brain. It's not about the money or the fame. It's really all about making the world change.
We are the earth, we are its children, united sons and daughters of the world, and we are willing to live good lives as neighbors and treat each other right. Together we can save the world and give it life.
You can't be a fool, you gotta stay in school. Your brain is your tool and helps you do you. Let's work together and make the world cool. Don't be cruel, follow every rule.
We are the sons and daughters of the light, who have the right to good life. And hood life don't have to be a white or black fight. Despite all the problems of the night, we unite and reverse all wrongs under one love, one people, one earth, and one song. We're kings and queens unto the world we bring. A new season like the weather, we're about to spring. A fresh start, a new heart unto the world we sing.
Please, come join me as we teach you how to love again. Don't let words stop you from multiplying meanings, making moments last forever. Your heart can tell when your mind is in it. Your soul is vivid. Your voice beckons with graphic images. A perception from the depths of the unified verse. Singing first, a rhythmic statement that reaches out to the outer limits, the you and I within unity saying, we are the earth.
We are the earth, we are its children, united sons and daughters of the world, and we are willing to live good lives as neighbors and treat each other right. Together we can save the world and give it life.
Yeah!
Everybody walk towards the camera.
Everybody
walk
towards the camera. Give him peace sign.
Give him peace. Give him the cash.
Me and Jay go way back. I only consider him as a brother, no matter what.
Favorite story about my brother Jay is when he took me to Six Flags.
My fondest memory of my brother, there's a lot of them.
Got me out of the hood, let me see the world and stuff. Took me to Canada. The man.
Man, there's a few.
When I was a young badass kid in Manville, running around raising hell, we started hanging out with another group of badass young kids raising hell from Central Falls and Cumberland, and you know, we ran around at the Manville Carnival, jumped off rock quarries into water, caused all kind of trouble.
A short one, nice one.
As a kid, And we were on the swing set, jumping off the swing set. Just jumping all high, acting crazy. You know, when you're a kid, you should swing as high as you can, then jump. So my brother gets a bright idea to jump. There was a hill to jump into the hill instead of away from the hill. So he jumps off, and all I hear is, "Oh shit!" And he breaks his arm. But you know, he still had a smile on his face, and he still took care of me. He was like, "Come on, I'm gonna be all right. Let's go, let's go."
One of the best memories of Jay happens to be a completely crazy story. I remember being young and coming out of a nightclub in Providence by the waterfront. I think it was called Shooters. And you know, we're walking out, and it was me and a few of my boys, and it was Jay and his brothers. If any of you know Jay and his brothers, then you know how they got down. And it was maybe 4 of them, and you know, we were like basically like up the hill, halfway up the hill. We looked back in the parking lot, and I'm like, oh damn, it's Jay and his brothers. I said, Hulk was there too, and they were like surrounded by like 20 dudes, and it was literally start walking back down, and literally minutes later you see like 20 dudes just kind of laid out all around them, and they're just standing there back to back, and it was crazy. I was just like, Jesus Christ, these kids are nuts. But yeah, they didn't need any help, man. They definitely held their own. They always had each other's back, and I don't know. I just always like I just thought that was funny. You know, that they threw down like that. So that was a young boy, Jay. You know, that I'm sure Jay doesn't even like to think about those memories of his past, even though they helped shape who he is now.
Jay, that's another one I can't answer. Yo, I almost just said the day he came home from training school. Then he just walked in the house.
It'd be a hell of a story to tell you.
Oh, a year or so ago, when we were at the Poor Sox and we were doing the poetry slam, who he's very involved with, from doing the presentations, tying the kids in and really motivating the kids in the projects, and just being out in his comfort level. As much as he's a kid at heart like the rest of us, but he's out in that field. It was just a great feeling for him. He was sharing some stories, and it was really more about the kids, and he made it fun for the kids.
Oh man, my fondest memory of Jay, working with him and the Poetry Slam, World No Tobacco Day Poetry Slam, and hearing his story, his resurrection story, and just being able to get a chance to sit back and listen to it. After not hearing it personally, just hearing about pieces of it, but hearing it come from his mouth and seeing the turnaround that God has done in his life, and that the decisions he's making now is to use this second chance to give back to the community is heartfelt. It's inspiring.
Jay did a production of the Comedy of Errors at the park in Pawtucket, and he played a kind of a crazy man, and his character was so committed and so real that it was hard sometimes not to just break up and laugh. You know, how energized he was and how committed he was to the work, and I will always remember that. And it was a fun show and a difficult show on some levels, but that's my favorite memory of Jay.
A more recent great memory that I have was the first time when he told me that he had started writing poetry. And he was like, yo, Chai, he was so excited about it. He's like, yo, Chach, man, I started writing poetry, and something that I really love to do, and you gotta come and see me, you gotta come see me, you gotta come see me. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna come see you. And a few times I told him I was gonna come, and I never showed up, just because, you know, life is busy. And then I remember the first show I did go to see him was actually right across the street over here at Ricardo's spot. And I went in, it was small, and they were serving like, you know, food, and it was a real small crowd. There's a bunch of people I haven't seen in a while. And he did this piece where he was talking about his accident. It just, it made me realize that, you know, how much that accident changed his life, and I'm sure that that was probably one of those pinnacle moments in his life that made him say like, hey, you gotta make a change, and for himself. And the poem definitely reflected that. I believe that accident showed him that he's, that bones could break, but a spirit can't, as long as you will it to stay strong. And yeah, that was like it made me see the new Jay. It made me overlook his younger days and how hey man, he had a rep for he had a rep that was larger than life, back in our days. And it made me look past all of that. It made me look past that shooter's fight and that tough guy, and it made me see the spirit of him. And it gave me a whole new respect for him, whole new respect for him as an artist, because I didn't know that. I never knew that side of him. That one piece was like, I was just like, woof. And the crowd, the crowd was like really thrown back by it. And I remember like looking at, I believe his mom was there and his brothers, a couple of them. And I remember looking at their faces while they were watching him perform, and they were like really like thrown back. And it kind of just made me just settle in and look at him differently. But that was a real cool moment for me and for him. And I think our relationship kind of changed after that day. He was like really happy that I showed up, and he made it known. So that made me really happy, and just made me want to like be more supportive of him as a poet. Yeah, Jay's a good dude.
He's the boss. Kept us motivated.
He threw concrete at me because I wasn't shoveling fast enough. Probably fired me.
When I went to one of his brother's fights he was doing a MMA fighting, and he wanted me to sell T-shirts. I own off the hook, so he wanted me to sell T-shirts at the venue. And I was like, Jay, I just want to sit down, relax, see your brother's fight, and enjoy this time off of work. And he was like, no, we gotta make this happen. We gotta sell some shirts. We gotta sell a Hulk. And it took me about 15 minutes, but I end up buying him a little drink, and then we end up just regular chatting.
What makes me fond of Jay more is that, he's outgoing. I mean, he understands life. He understands common sense, which a lot of people don't these days. He wants to listen and pay attention before he speaks to you. And I mean, I'm very fond of that.
When my son was 2 years old, he was the only person to show up to his birthday party. At the time, he couldn't even walk. It just meant a lot to me, A lot of my own family members weren't there. And Jay shows up in a pickup truck. Can't even walk. And he comes to my son's birthday.
I told Jay I had a special poem for him, and now I want y'all to respect me in the morning after I do this poem. It's called To Jay on His Birthday.
Stop playing.
Happy birthday, motherfucker.
I need some happy birthday. I ain't never seen a day.
Happy birthday, motherfucker. I forgot to bring a gift. Happy birthday, motherfucker. I don't really know your age. I started to feel bad about not getting you anything. I don't even know what you want. I guess I could have gotten you a Tonka truck. Or some socks. Maybe some underwear. But you're too big for toys. You don't wear socks. Might not wear underwear either.
Didn't know what to get you, so I give you the wisdom of one little word. There are 37 different kinds of motherfuckers. Each one of them bigger than life.
My mom will love you.
Each one of them takes the place of 1,000 words, 10 pictures, and 5 I saw it with my own eyes. You have your basic motherfucker. Or if you're white, motherfucker.
My name is Ricardo Pitts-Wiley. I'm a theater artist. I'm a playwright, an actor, director, a teacher, a poet, a composer, and I build theater companies. Jay is ambitious. Jay is hardworking. Jay is determined. He's very focused. As always with ambitious, focused people, they have to improve their people relationship skills sometimes. And I had to work with Jay on, just learning how to talk to people and getting them to understand what he was trying to do and not overwhelm them, because he has an overwhelming personality. And once we were able to kind of get to that point, then I could see where Jay was not only a dedicated artist, but Jay was extremely dedicated to the community of people that he lived in and served. And he was loyal to his family, loyal to his friends, and that was all very good and very important.
Regardless of whatever the situation is, he approaches it with a smile on his face. He approaches it with open arms, and we could sit here and try to say goodbye to each other, and we'll dap each other up like 6 times before we actually leave, because we'll dap, you'll see you later, and then we'll talk about something else, and all right, man, see you later. For real this time, and we'll keep talking. He just always wants to help. He always wants to listen. He wants to listen to what you have to say. He feeds off of the positive things that are going on in the lives of the people around him, and I think those are some of the things that kind of drive his passions, that drive his willingness to just want to do better and to want to be seen and want to be heard. But I think he's just he brightens up people's days, and he sees me regardless of wherever I am or wherever he is or whoever he's with or whoever I'm with, and he will make it a point to come and extend a handshake and give me a hug and be like, yo, what's up, how are you? And I always try to do the same for him, and I can only imagine how the rest of the world treats him if he treats me like that, and so the rest of the world must really appreciate his friendship as well.
With with a glow, he has a positive effect on others when talking to him, when they're listening. He definitely brings them to a place that they want to be positive in their outthinking and whatever they're trying to do.
I think he affects others in many different ways, depending on which Jay you're going to get that day. If he's in a positive mood, he's going to affect you in a positive way. If he's in an argumentative mood, he can really bring you down. He's good at arguing, and getting his point across, even if he's not right.
He's doing well with his shows, and he's showing that, that going through life, doing things for, other people other than himself, has a good influence on the younger generation today.
People's behaviors, good and bad, affect people, whether we want to or not. We do, especially those closest to us. And could be family, could be community. And I think that this part of Jay that I do know, and I know this part better than I know the old part. I don't know much about the old part, but he's had a profound impact on the youth, on the city of Pawtucket, and every person that he comes in contact with, including myself. He's always willing to bring somebody involved with what he's doing. He's always willing to step out of his thing and allow somebody else to step into the light, such as right now, right?
put my lifetime in between the paper's lines. My life, I put my lifetime in between the paper's lines. My life, I put my lifetime in between the paper's lines. My life, I put my lifetime in between the paper's lines. My life,
hey yo, I live in a time where the finish line you try and reach could cease right from the start, despite if you light skin or dark. See, everybody goes, but if you don't know your role, you might get swiped for your part. That's why I spend my nights reciting what is likely to shock. Cause when I write, it's like I'm sitting right at the top. With Christ Jesus, best believe I'm throwing lightning darts to strike you right in your heart. No man alive can shield them, so analyze and feel him. The light in the art, when the plate recycles the clock. Just look beyond the hard times and recognize that God's trying to show you why the stars shine. The revelation is beyond science. And since education's what I'm glorifying, I believe in showing you the patience of a strong mind. I dedicate this elevation to a long climb in the odyssey I've been through. Cause when it comes to real rap, my policy is simple.
I put my lifetime in between the paper's lines. My life, I put my lifetime in between the paper's lines. My life, I put my lifetime in between the paper's lines. My life, I put my lifetime in between the paper's lines. My life, my life.
Are you sick of all the randomness? Living in the damned abyss. Life, no manuscript, dark, no candles lit. Don't give a damn for this, you probably couldn't handle it. You should've got the hang of it before you go abandon it. Now tell me something, do you stand or sit? I'ma take a stand for this. You're not a man just because you stand the piss. Catch me people watching, face looking, brain cooking, writing down my every thought like I'm Facebooking. You don't have to like my status or respect what I've established. To the mind which was malice and a heart that was callous, to a mind that is balanced and a heart that is valiant, with the confidence to turn a pretty penny to a palace. Now there's only one rule that I live by. Try, cause if you don't, then you can't ask why. There's only one rule that I live by. Try, cause if you don't, then you can't ask why.
I put my lifetime in between the paper's lines. My life, I put my lifetime in between the paper's lines. My life, I put my lifetime in between the paper's lines. My life, I put my lifetime in between the paper's lines. My life.
Philosophies, philosophically spoken. Actions attracting more Godspeed. God sees everything, you hear me? Feel the power of three. Mind embodies your spirit. Physically taking you to the limit. Wanting you to quit becomes suicidal. Meanwhile, a moment mentioned is still killing you. Pain is universal. This will live holds true. Never leaving you, never letting you down with sound good. Keeping a sharp eye on a sound body, flowing with a profound mind. Timing this just right. Sounds like you might understand where I'm coming from. You might stand up for more than your own beliefs, but believe you me, faith can take you to eternity. Turn into the power of the Almighty. I put my lifetime in between these paper's lines, and what you find every time, peace in my mind.
My name is Jared from Providence, Rhode Island. Independent artist. A lot. More than 200 different cities. With poetry, you speak truth to power, and I honestly believe that the oral tradition is, it's never stopped being one of our most effective means, or human beings' most effective means of communication, of catharsis, of expression, and people have been doing it for thousands and thousands of years. It's older than poetry slam, it's older than beat poetry, it's older than Shakespeare, it's older than Greek poetry. People started making songs before they even figured out speech. People started figuring out or making poems and lyrical songs before written language ever even happened. So before there was any alphabet, Egyptian or Babylonian or Syrian, before there was written language, there was oral language and indigenous languages, and people made poems and songs in those languages. And I go through all that only to say that what we're doing right now has been happening for thousands and thousands of years in the forest, on the beach, around fires, and it's how people started communicating and sharing ideas and passing down history. And where we are right now is one of the most current links, or the most current link in that very long and sacred chain that is the oral tradition. I believe that it's worth participating in, it's worth observing, it's worth taking part in, and it's worth defending.
Hey Vert, you know I like to use Facebook as a way of healing myself. You see, one day I was having a bad day and I asked Facebook to give me one positive word. You feel what I'm saying, Vert? So, 56 people hit me back with one positive word. I took them words and created a poem out of it and left it in the order that it came in. This is what we had to say.
With this pain, my soul is covered in stains. Though I am destined for change, I move on through the storm. Stay close to God where it's warm until it's time to go home. Because it's just another day, just another day.
Searching for something in my life to be positive was my motivation. Hoping to find inspiration, patience, waiting for sincere thoughts, most importantly understanding, expressing true love, finding true peace, the truth and honor, knowing the meaning within forgiveness, because I believe we all can teach this inner warmth, soothing the soul.
My soul is covered in stains.
My goal in life, to birth a new dedication of this forgiveness, expressing my intellectual identification with the capacity so you can feel my empathy towards another situation. I write with sincerity, possessing loyalty that I have learned in early brotherhood. Family means the world to me.
With this pain, my soul is covered in stains. Though I am destined for change, I'm alone. My soul is stay close to God where it's warm until it's time to go home. Just another day, just another day, just another day, just another day.
Showing perseverance, adhering to real strength, amazing, because my honesty triumphs through adversity. Any unfortunate event or circumstance will not fall to ill chance. Yes, like I said, perseverance. I learned that love was the most important ingredient in a strong foundation. Next, add faith for the sake of originality, become flexible. With this freedom to choose an enthusiastic appreciation of life. My thankfulness proves to be bliss. This is real because God has the best taste of integrity. Compassion found within this poem, holding moral excellence and righteousness, attests to a true synchronized virtue.
It's just another day with this pain. My soul is covered in stains. Though I am destined for change, just another day with this pain. My soul is stay close to God where it's warm until it's time to go home. Just another day, just another day, just another day with this pain.
You see, we all are missing someone. Finding the courage to move on without forgetting about a heavenly paradise, I was asked, write something about the human race's principles, our basic code of conduct, and how they affect the future generations. Congratulations, you've influenced me in this next preparation. God is awesome. I'm grateful with respect pertaining to this confident, characteristic, euphoric feeling of happiness, showing my faith with ambiguous passion. You see, I cherish emotions when motivation has more possibilities, depicting parenthood, fathering the future to not be tormented by people that do not understand the meaning of being positive. Falling back to inspirational childhood memories. Yes, this compassion is complete when you see we built it with unity. Peace.
My soul is covered in stains. Though I am destined for change, I'm alone. My soul is stay close to God where it's warm until it's time to go home. Just another day, just another day, just another day. It's just another day with this pain.
Tony, right here in Massachusetts. Kind of chaotic.
A lot of people running around. Big accident. Remember a motorcycle accident? Working at Sullivan Tire. Remember hearing the crash. The person was med flighted out. Ambulance showed up, some police. The helicopter came in a few minutes later. The guy was med flighted out. People got a little scared, and people really didn't want to do the motorcycle show no more. And within the next year or so, I know the motorcycle shop shut down. Hearing all the burnouts, seeing all the smoke coming over the building, and then hearing the big crash of the motorcycle.
Oh shit. They're the last words I remember. Staring up at a crowd of grown men and women who are crying, I could not see that I was somehow tangled within myself. Still, on the grass, too scared to look in my eyes with the depth of look in theirs. Strange faces surround me. I could hear someone getting sick. I'm desperately searching for a familiar face, someone that could tell me what was really going on. I could feel a sense of stillness inside of me. I've been in plenty of accidents, but for the first time, I didn't move. I couldn't. I wanted to take the helmet off that I've loathed so I can breathe fresh air. The smell of vomit was making me sick. Now look what I have done, I said to myself. My naivety of the seriousness of my condition was still unknown to me because all that was going through my mind is that I was supposed to be heading home to see my brother. Now I can't even see what's going on. I can still hear familiar faces and voices, friends and family telling me to stay calm. But I know something just isn't right. I saw the brightest of bright, almost like it was white, but it wasn't. There was nothing to look at. One voice stood out to me while I was momentarily blinded. I heard a confident, soothing voice say, "You will be all right." And for some strange reason that I'm just now coming to terms with, I believe what I heard. A few moments had passed, which felt like a lifetime. I started to yell from the excitement. I can see again. See, out of all the people that just witnessed what happened, I really only knew about 5 people there. 2 of my cousins and 3 of my friends. One which I loved like a brother. He was my ride or die partner. One look at me and he was gone. He had to build up the strength to call my mom. He knew how bad the situation was. You see, one day, way back when, Chris and I were talking about if either one of us ever had a bad crash, what would each of us do? I told him that I would never leave him. Yeah, even if I went to jail for it. He told me he wouldn't be able to stop. That he knew he couldn't handle seeing me in any state of fatality. Look at us now. It was his bike that I crashed on. One of the first things I remember saying was, "How's the bike?" "Fuck the bike," Billy said. I wanted to laugh, but I was in too much pain. Billy and Joe were the only 2 I could see standing there whom I recognized. I looked at Billy and told him that I just went to the bathroom in my pants. He told me, "Nobody cares, Jay. It's all right." But how could he understand what I just told him? I felt the piss and shit, not like when you go to the bathroom, you have that relieving sensation. It was just there. And I knew it was there. This gave me a sudden sense of fear. I've seen too many times on TV that when you die, your body relieves itself. I knew then what I had to do. Please, tell my daughter I love her. I was talking about both of my daughters, but he really only knew my youngest, Jacine. Those words were not going to be my last, but I felt wholeheartedly they were while I was laying there with my entire left side of my body broken, torn open, and in such excruciating pain that no words I ever heard of will ever be able to explain. This was something I've never felt before. Please, tell her I'm sorry, and I love her with all my heart. People were no longer trying to talk to me. It was like only Billy, Joey, and I were there. I started to get real tired at this point. Until I had a sudden shock take over my entire body. This was death. This was the feeling that I never truly wanted to know, but was always curious about how it would feel when it happened. The paramedics were there cutting my clothes off. I was pleading with them to let me take my jacket off myself. Funny how you try to keep things that really don't matter. The jacket was one of the things that helped keep my body in one piece. You see, plus I paid $600 for it. But I was reminded with every touch of sensitivity of how bad this accident really was. You could hear it in my screams. It was human torture at its finest hour. Once the paramedics put me on a stretcher, most people noticed that my agonizing screams have stopped. They thought for sure I was dead. You see, the traffic created by the accident required the authorities to hold up a wall of white sheets obstructing everyone's view of my lifeless, naked body. The sheets that covered my body were quickly drenched in my own blood. The rescue drove me right up the street. The Wareham Police Department, they had to close off the street so the medical helicopter could land. I don't remember the rescue, but I do remember the helicopter. You see, it was the first time I've ever been on one. I remember a woman medic talking to me. Now, from the time I crashed to the time I passed out on the chopper, I was asked, "What's your name? Do you know where you are? Do you know where you live? Do you know where you're going?" These same questions were asked to me so many times, I couldn't take care of them anymore. I was very weak. Tired from what I saw was going on. I told them one last time as I laid in the sheets, naked, saturated in my own blood. I know my name is Jason Edward Chattelle. My wallet is in my back pocket. I live at 30 Horton Street in Providence, Rhode Island. I know I was in a bike accident, and you guys are bringing me to Boston when I want to go to Rhode Island. Please. I'm asking you. I'm very tired. Please. Just don't let me die. I'm not ready to die yet. I couldn't speak anymore. I started to do the only thing that I felt was right. I asked for forgiveness as I prayed. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. I say what I say when I do what I do, feeling what I feel with nothing to prove. Life choice knowing one golden rule, one love knowing all can pursue. First the hurt, then the pain, names change, feelings are the same. The Lord's name never comes out my mouth in vain. It's insane when one man can change an outcome. How come we live to die when the streets are dying to live? Rebirth as an adult, looking to enlighten our kids. This is everyday work.
Pain is all the same, it hurts. Feelings deep within emerge with every day.
Get up, I'm coming to do some concrete.
Family picnics, cookouts.
Can I be truthful?
Yeah. Having fun.
All being free at once.
Split. My mind is on the future, my heart is in the past, my body's in the
present, knowing good things never last. I've gotta put my work in, feeling like a workout. Pain is all the same, it hurts, and every day I burst out in anger and aggression, mania, depression, feelings deep inside emerging. Now we're aimed in your direction. I'm looking for a problem, sure we searching for solutions. Doing what I'm doing leads to dirt or institutions. Tell me how to fix this, cause I don't wanna live this life like this. I'd rather exit from existence. They say hope floats, well, show me where that ship is. I travel any distance and battle all resistance. Listen, I'm the definition of persistent, fighting for position, taking shots like Sonny Liston. Listen, I see those vultures in my vision, but they're in the rear view. The pain is what I've steered through.
Pain is all the same, it hurts. Feelings deep within emerge with everyday work. Everyday work. Pain is all the same, it hurts. Feelings deep within emerge with everyday work. Everyday work.
Of course, I have something I want to add. I know Jay, and wherever this is seen, I know that he's going to make sure that everybody sees this. So when everybody does see this, don't forget that Beatbox Studio is located at 250 Main Street in downtown Pawtucket. I am Chachi Cavallo, one of the 4 owners, and we are here to service you if you want to make some music. This is the place to be. It's a comfort zone. This is one of 3 rooms. This is called the Mothership. We are one of very few studios in the state that are offering Pro Tools recordings in high definition. So please, make sure you log on to beatboxrecording.com. beatboxrecording.com. Hit us up, get in touch, and book you some studio time at Rhode Island's premier audio recording facility, Beatbox Studio. I'm Chachi.
Yo, we work every day. It's everyday work. When we down and out, we all visit the same church. We call them different names, but we pray to the same God to give us strength to do our work, which remains hard. Reminded of the pain we suffer when we count scores.
At this point in life, we're all on a search. We're all searching for where we're going. Brother's on that search. Deep within himself, trying to find something. And I've been seeing him at church and stuff lately, so he finally found the answer, which is God. It's been real good.
Maybe I could be rewarded in my afterlife.
Pain is all the same, it hurts. Feelings deep within emerge with everyday work.
Just imagine.
Everyday work. Pain is all the same, it hurts. Feelings deep within emerge with everyday work. Everyday work.
Jay Chattelle for president. Jay Chattelle for world leader. Jay Chattelle for Pawtucket governor, mayor.
Yo, my boss is yelling at me.
Yeah.
I can hear him saying,
We're about to get fired. We're gonna get fired. Yeah, we gotta see what it looks like though. Hey, now put the camera on real quick. You guys gonna work?
Imagine a master of mystery, the master of mastery, the maker, the majesty, immaculate in history, from past to infinity. He fashioned it vividly, grafted the galaxies and crafted eternity. Matchless but simply, fasted divinity, took form inhumanly, felt pain classically, rewind actually, strike out classically. He knew pain.
Go out and write a poem. Your poetry prompt for tonight is the thing you never said to the person you really, really wish you had said it to. Now go run with that.
Hit his vein line before he flatlined. I watched his chest, I watched his breath as he bled. I watched his death.
Pain is all the same, it hurts.
He knows your struggles.
Feelings deep within
He knows your pain.
with everyday work.
He knows your hurts and your sorrows.
Everyday work.
He knows your hurts and your pain.
Pain is all the same, it hurts.
Just cry out to
Feelings
him.
deep within emerge.
Just cry
with
out.
everyday work.
In your everyday
work.
Struggles. Cry out. In your everyday pain. Cry out.
Thank you for tuning into this true life story. As you now can see, I'm no longer walking. I'm gliding through life.